But that protest still pending, an important protest, third against.
Start, and this newcomer Snipped in the Bud remains the favourite at $1.90 ahead of Cons Amy, and a little bit of money for Regatta, number 12. We noticed it was a shortener last time. It's now into $8.60. So a bit of interest there with that filly resuming after a spell. That's Randwick and...
Yes, Snipped in the Bud, all the rage. So $1.90, $1.10, little better in the ring. Second pick is number 8, Cons Amy, as far as the ring is concerned, and Tote. Not much variation, 6.30 and 2.10. And Amboire is out to almost double figures in on-track operations and is on the Tote at $10 and is the third pick. So Snipped in the Bud, all the rage. Sun has been out here for a little while. We're on the Kensington grass today, which is rated as dead, and the rail is true. And Head On Falada has moved in without the rider, and now Symbolic Royal will be led forward, one of 3 runners that Jack Denham has in the event. Glorious Charm is coming up. Jewel Regalia still away with Plywood, and the Max Lees trained Regatta to move in. Snipped in the Bud is nicely drawn in gate number 2. Rider Darren Beedman in the orange with a white star, white striped sleeves and a white cap. Now Jewel Regalia is moving up into its posse as the starter heads down towards his dispatch point. Jewel Regalia just short of the line at the moment. Now she's coaxed in and we're ready for action. First of 8 today. Starter about to climb the stand. He does so now. Snipped in the Bud, moving. Steadies. Racing, Snipped in the Bud jump reasonably well. Jewel Regalia and Solidified Cons Amy out well. So too Glorious Charm and Head On Falada's going quickly, and likewise Regatta. A length and a half Snipped in the Bud and Amboire, followed by Tumbler and Symbolic Royal. Then Famous Lady, Tale of Stars, along margin Plywood and Duomo. The big field runs down to the 600 and Snipped in the Bud scooting up on the inside to lead from Head On Falada. In third position Cons Amy, followed by Glorious Charm wide. Over on the fences Tumbler, then Regatta and Amboire, and 2 lengths Solidified, and then Famous Lady and Jewel Regalia. Snipped in the Bud straightens up for the run of the judge, a length and a half on the second elect Cons Amy from Head On Falada. Tumbler's over on the rails and Amboire is wider out, but it's Snipped in the Bud shaken along by Beedman. Tumbler on the inside from Cons Amy and Amboire, but it's Snipped in the Bud in no danger of defeat. An impressive debut by this good looking filly, and Snipped in the Bud beat Tumbler on the rails second, Amboire third, and then came Cons Amy in company with Tale of Stars. Duomo made ground, then Solidified and Plywood. Head On Falada, Symbolic Royal, Glorious Charm, Famous Lady, Regatta knocked up, and last in was Jewel Regalia. She was too good for them. Nice filly, number 11, Snipped in the Bud. Darren Beedman for trainer Toby Edmonds and his clients, the Gall family, RJ, Mrs. JM and BD Gall. They've got horses like Acapulco Storm with Toby, and she looked well going onto the track. She's raced right up to it. She jumped reasonably from the 2 gate, but had the necessary speed to drive up and lead. Tumbler's run a good race there, number 7. Cons Amy battled on, but Snipped in the Bud never really gave those that took the short price any real worry from the top of the straight. Numbers will be up in just a moment. Now the time will be of interest. It's 58.48. The Kenzo course record for the 1000 is 57.90. 11, 7, 1 and 8 of the officials. Snipped in the bud, Darren Beedman first. Number 7, Tumbler second by Masque from Mannerism. They don't come much better bred than that, do they? A Bay Colt 2, trained by Jack Denham for Jeff and Beryl White, Corey Brown. Number 1, Amway, ran a nice race at its debut too. It's...
All right, Ian, 11, 7, 1 and 8. The first fours paid $319 on the first, and the spinner, 11 beat 7, so odds paid $2.80 on the first. 11, 7, 1 has been support for Trafalgar Flyer, number 10, who's currently $15 on the TAB. At the barrier, race 1. First at Victoria Park in 12.
7-1, the penetrometer reading. The rail is out 2. Easing favourite is Sail of Century for the first, and they're just about ready to go. Sail of Century will complete the line. Former Rose Hill Guineas winner. Won his only start at Werribee over the jumps. Fanatic Best tried to beat him, lost his place mid-race in that same event, has a small turn in the weights. He's drawn 2, they're ready to go. First on the card, 3,200, and they're off and racing. Platilla knuckled a little at the start over near the outside. Sail of Century jumped all right. Lavros Pete began fast and also showing pace as Fanatic in company with Cormer and the Builder as they go over the first. Liston drifting well back as settling towards the end. Coming up towards the second hurdle in the race now, and over on the outside, Lavros Pete is the leader. He's out in front of the grey Platilla, who's working up wide on the course. In behind them then is Fanatic, is holding down third. The Builder is behind him and Lays tucked in on the rails, followed by Cormer. They're trailed then by Trafalgar Flyer out wider, and then came Sail of Century, and Liston is back last of all as they go over the next hurdle in the race. And the leader at the 300 with the lap to go is now Platilla, moving up on the outside. On his inside is Lavros Pete as they leap this, and 3 lengths away is Fanatic holding down third. Then came Trafalgar Flyer, who's racing 3 deep on the outside, followed by the Builder. Lays on the inside rail about midfield. Sail of Century a half a length away as they go over the next jump. He put in a beauty at that, did Sail of Century. And behind him is Cormer, who's second last. And last of all is Liston. 2,200 metres to go. They've jumped the first 5 hurdles, and Platilla leaves the straight with a lead of a little over a length here. Lavros Peters second. Trafalgar Flyer a length and a half away, has moved up into third, followed closely then by Fanatic. A length further back in the field is the Builder on the inside of Sail of Century. 2 lengths to Lays, a length to Cormer, and 2 lengths to Liston back at the tail of the field today. At the first on the riverside now, and it's Platilla over that one in front of Lavros Pete. He lands by about a neck here. 2.5 lengths away is Trafalgar Flyer, who's got to third, and then the Builder on the inside. Fanatic is next over on the outside of Sail of Century. He's 5 lengths from the leader. A break of 3 lengths to Lays as they come to the hurdle inside the 1,700 metres, and then there's a long gap of about 6 lengths away to Liston, who's second last, and Cormer's now last. Up towards the hurdle near the 1,500, a new leader. Lavros Pete over this one in front of Platilla. The Builder knuckled a little. Trafalgar Flyer went round him, getting into third. And they're followed by Fanatic. And then came Sail of Century. 2 lengths away Lays. And Liston back at the tail end of the field on the inside of Cormer as they leap the next jump. And they've still got 4 to get over. And Lavros Pete kicked away at the 1,200, leads by 2.5 Platilla. A length away is the Builder on the inside as they jump this one, followed by Fanatic out wide and Sail of Century the centre. 1 Trafalgar Flyer, a length and a half, then to Lays, Cormer and Liston last of all, but only 8 lengths covered them, 1,000 to go. Third last hurdle looming up now. Lavros Pete in front of Platilla. As they leap this one, the leader just cracked it a bit. 2 lengths away then Fanatic. Sail of Century in the centre and the Builder on the rail. Clear from Lays, Trafalgar Flyer, Cormer and Liston on the inside. Coming around the home turn though, 2 to get over. Lavros Peters the leader, a half length Platilla, a length Fanatic. Sail of Century niggled out a touch on the inside from the Builder. Lays has pulled out now and he's coming with a run right round the outside and he's joining these leaders. Lavros Pete in front, he left the fence, room on the inside for the Builder and Sail of Century. Lays comes with his run the outside and Liston has made up many lengths on the fence. Over the second last one, oh, Liston knuckled, nearly lost it, and it's the Builder in front. Sail of Century coming after him from Lays and Lavros Pete. The Builder at the last clipped it. He knuckled a little. Now Sail of Century is starting to warm to the task on the outside. 100 metres to go. The Builder, Sail of Century, Lays joining in on the outside. A great battle. Sail of Century, his flat ability draws to the front. Sail of Century, 3/4 to Lays and the Builder. Terrific hurdle. Long break then to in 4th placing Liston, who made a late mistake again. Then Lavros Pete, Fanatic, trailed in by Platilla, Cormer and Trafalgar Flyer. Favourites got home. Number 2, Sale of Century, will pay 220 and 140, beating Lays and the Builder in the hurdle. Numbers should go to 2, 3 and 9. Sale of Century keeping an unbeaten hurdle record intact. He really had to tough it out strongly. A very good hurdle race. Sale of Century getting home. Trained by Robert Smurden, ridden by Craig Durden. 2, Sale of Century first. 3, Lays second. Came with a run round the outside. Very strong finishing run, but Sale of Century had a little too much for him over the final couple of hundred. And the Builder got the runs on the inside to hit the lead early in the straight. He just clipped one late, took the wind from his sails, but a strong third.
Yes, his form on the flat had gone a little bit off the boil late last year, but it seems like he's found his niche, Sale of Century, and it's the hurdles. So a few good races coming up over the next couple of months as we get into the winter time jumps races, that is. And who knows, if he continues to improve, and he's only in the very early stages of a jumping career, if he continues to improve, he might even be able to shape up and win one of those big ones. That's pretty ambitious, but he's done everything right so far with the win at Werribee in good style recently, and he's proved that was no fluke by picking up this one at Flemington today. Sailor
moves in, backing up after racing here on Monday in the Country Cup, when 6th behind Parhelia in that blanket finish. And Live in Fear is being led forward now, and that'll complete the line of 6. Not keen to go in. Balked and just a little stubborn at this point. Crowd is built after the first, not a big crowd, of course, with the day tomorrow. Many are saving their dollars and cents for Ladies' Day. Oaks Day, of course, tomorrow, All Age Stakes Day. Now again, Live in Fear, led up towards the stalls, but not overly keen to enter. He's the youngest in the field. He's a 3-year-old, 6 running, and they're all geldings. And Live in Fear is safely there. This race over the 1550, and they're ready now. They're off. And Live in Fear away pretty well. He's not going to lead. The man shooting up on the inside and shows the way narrowly from Sir Redford, and Madawi Emperor going up 3 deep. Then Live in Fear, Goodfella, and immediately Laminator drops out to last. Good battle for the lead with Sir Redford wanting it, and so too the rider on Madawi Emperor, and the man's going to ease in behind them, and past the 1200 they travel. Sir Redford goes to a clear-cut lead now, nearly 2 lengths on Madawi Emperor, 1 length the man, 4 or 5 lengths then to Live in Fear. Goodfella at its girth on the inside, and Laminated another length and 3/4 away. Working their way out of the back straight and coming onto the side at the 900 marker, and the leader is Sir Redford. The rider takes a hold of him now, and the big chestnut with the white feet and white face, about 3/4 Madawi Emperor. A length and a half to the ring wobble of the man, and 2 lengths to Live in Fear, and a length to Goodfella, 1 1/2 to Laminated. This is the order as they come along the side of the track, racing on the Kensington grass and linking up with the 600 marker and the leader Sir Redford. Madawi Emperor second, the man is third. Live in Fear being coaxed to move forward now by Rodney Quinn. Then comes Goodfella, and last of all is Laminated, trying to get onto the back of Live in Fear. They sweep into the home straight now, and the leader Sir Redford taken on in earnest by Madawi Emperor and Live in Fear. The man over on the inside of Goodfella and wider Laminated. They reach the 200 marker. Sir Redford won't give in. Live in Fear is a neck away, and then Madawi Emperor. Live in Fear's almost got Sir Redford. He has now, I'd say. Live in Fear, Laminated late, but Live in Fear holding Sir Redford and Laminated, and Live in Fear will get the money. Live in Fear wins it from Laminated, I'd say, second. Sir Redford third, and then Goodfella, Madawi Emperor, and the man ran last. Number 6, the winner here. Live in Fear by Beautiful Crown from Relive, trained by Robert Pearce for P.W. Callaghan, A and Mrs. L.L.M. Bocock, and ridden by Rodney Quinn. Just patiently ridden, and then he started to move up on him coming down past the 600, and in the straight after a short, sharp tussle with Sir Redford, quickly got the better of him and has raced home to win encouragingly. Numbers up in a moment. 6, the winner, Live in Fear, and the outside horse will probably get up for second placing here, and Laminated the horse, and Sir Redford over on the inside. Now,
All right, numbers on race 2 are 6, 3 and 4 with 5 fourth. So the first four, $282.60, that's 6345. The spinner result, it was mixed. It paid $1.70. And yes, Live in Fear and Rodney Quinn making it 3 successive wins today. Here's the New South Wales totes, they're ready. Live in Fear, Laminated Sir Redford, Quinella 1160, Exacta 1910, Trifecta 8650, and we're just standing by for the remainder of those interstate dividends to come through. Just 5, 17 and 3 with the placings. Weight is right. First four paid $7,491.10 on race 2. Now let's take you back to Greg at Flemington.
What a tough one this is. Confectioner came up the slower side of the course at Flemington. I think it would have won if it came down the right side of the track there. It's going to run favourite on track. Second pick is Ambulance. Very easy as the third favourite on track. That's Kenny Opera. What a tough one this is. Now they're just about ready to go. Ambulance has moved in the All Cerise. Here's Final Pug now going in riderless. Confectioner about to get set. Close Encounter now getting a lead in. It's a get back, but can really hit the line. Close Encounter. In Court about to come in. Rider has a dark blue cap on the 14, Reese Wheeler. Unbridled's Appeal, the grey on the move behind the line in company with High Ransom. Batiro to get set. And Confectioner, so we need 4 to move in and we'll have them right to go. In the second on the card, working on Batiro now. An impressive winner at Bendigo. Showed good fight there. Goes up. High Ransom about to move in. Unbridled's Appeal. And Confectioner will have the outside barrier. Hasn't had much luck with the gates here. Starters heading over, they're nearly ready. Best tried on track is Confectioner, and the second best tried is Ambulance. Kenny Opera's easy. Word has it's been a drifter. Hennon Court's got out in the market too. Now here's Confectioner going into the stalls. Locked away, Stephen Arnold with an essay drawn out on the outside, field of 16. Set to go. No, Batiro's backed out of line here for some reason. Didn't see him play up in the gates, but the starters had him backed out for an inspection, it would appear. Looks like the vets are having a look at Batiro. Don't know whether he played up in the stalls. Didn't see it from our vantage point. In any case, he's going back into the stalls now, and they're set once more. The Anzac Day, it's a listed race for 2-year-olds, 1400. They stand in now. Racing, Zab Express a little awkward, and towards the outside, Confection is going to settle towards the tail, and Batiro was the first out. Final Pug goes through and joins and heads him along the inside. Word has it settles down in third on the rails, followed by Unbridled's Appeal getting a good early trail, followed by Ladies Slew Our Purring on the improved wide. They're followed by Recourse trapped out deep going forward, and back behind those then is Zab Express. They're bunching here, and then came High Occupancy on the outside, and Ambulance about 4 wide. 2 lengths further back in the field is Hennon Court, and they're trailed by Confection. Well, Arnold's got it over onto the rails, and he's coming through on the inside there. They were followed by Kenny Opera, who's drifted back to about 4th last, and then Close Encounter, followed by Log Pond as they come to the turn, and last of all is High Ransom at the 600, and Unbridled's Appeal on the outside, and Final Pug turned together from Recourse. Our Purring right off the track. Batiro is in behind them, and so is Word Has It in the bright pink, followed by Zab Express, and then Ladies Slew. Down the outside, High Occupancy. Close Encounters going for a needle-eye gap, but there's not a lot of room there, and Kenny Opera's down the outside. 300 left to go. Final Pug the leader. Batiro's after it now, and then Confectioner starting to run on, and Kenny Opera's down the outside, and then Ambulance. Confectioner getting to Batiro. 100 to go. A right and a half. There's Confectioner drawing clear. A big effort. Confectioner first. Ambulance grabs second from Batiro. It's in a photo. Then Canny Opera getting home. Close Encounter along the inside, and they were followed then by High Ransom, and further back was Zab Express, Final Pug, Log Pond, and then Hennon Court trailed further back by Word Has It, and then came Unbridled's Appeal with a break then to Recourse, followed by High Occupancy, and then Our Purring, and Lady Slew was last in.
Very well ridden by Stephen Arnold. Confectioner number 4 has got up for Tony McAvoy, 461.90. 10 Ambulance ridden by Darren Gouchy. Looks like it might have got second at 280. And Batiro number 5 ridden by Nash Rawilla at $3.60 for a place. 4.10.5. Nice type by Bubble Gum Fellow, the Japanese sire. And he certainly appreciated the step up to 1,400 metres today. That was only his third start. He's now won 2 races. The other win was a maiden at Balaclava, over 1,050, so he's improving all the time. Might hear more about Confectioner during the winter. Victoria Park's next, race 2 in 5 minutes' time. Not much happening between horses 1 through to 8. They're at double figure odds. So through to the more fancied runners there, and I think we'll have Entice, number 12. It's the favourite, $2.90. Hot Chili Woman and Quick Trick. Both around $7. It's for Victoria Park, coming up in 4 minutes. Now, runners are in the mounting yard for the next at Randwick, race 3, the Kokoda Handicap. The top raider is Garfish from Northwood, Sadler's Song and Matey, 4, 5, 2 and 8. Through the market we go. Main chances, I think it's pretty open. Sadler's Song, Garfish, 5.20 Northwood and Matey's there at 9.10, similar odds to the top one. And the rest of the field are at double figure odds. Now let's have a look at these 2-year-olds. We'll start with Hassel, a first starter by Zabeel, trained by John Hooks.
Snipped in the bud, won the first Darren Beedman, beat 7 Tumblr, 1 Amboise and 8 Conzami. Right, coming up to line is Matey along with our Jinmar, so we've got 4 to load. Well, Live in Fear came from behind in the second race of the day and snipped in the bud. Didn't jump first, but quickly got through to lead. So track so far, so good. Very uniform. And they haven't marked it to any degree at all. So I wonder if the Kenzo track has turned the corner. Hopefully it has. Now Hassel's moving in now. Northwood, the inside runner, Hassel the outside, and Hassel set, and we're ready for action. This is the Kokoda Handicap. Ooh, Northwood became rather stirred up on the inside. Line behaves a little better. Gateman in with 1 towards the middle. Gates are back and they're off this time. Sunblush didn't jump brilliantly. Matey out well, and so too Garfish and Ceto Fairy. Don Rapides and Northwood is scooting through along the inside, and our Jinmar is going to be pratted very wide from Tismazing. Sunblush will settle midfield, and then comes Sadler's Song, followed by Shy Stranger and Isadora. Hassel drops out last. Don Rapides to the lead, and as they go to the first corner here at the 1,000, Don Rapides about 2 lengths Matey and Ceto Fairy. Off the track is our Jinmar, followed by Garfish on the outside and Northwood, and then Shy Stranger. Midfield next on the inside is Tismazing, followed closely by Sadler's Song and Sunblush Isadora. And Hassel brings up the rear. They were working their way down the side, coming past the 700. And Don Repeaters 3/4 to a length on Matey. 1 to our Jinmar. Ceto Fairy on the rails. Garfish is next, and then wider Shy Stranger. Northwood the fence from Tismazing. And then comes Sadler's Song, followed on the inner Sunblush Isadora. Add a couple of lengths to Hassel. They head for home, and Don Rapides 3/4 to a half length on Matey. Our Jinmar wider out, followed by Ceto Fairy. Garfish pulling 5 and 6 deep, and then Northwood followed by Sadler's Song. They race to the 200 marker, and here our Jinmar from Matey, followed by Garfish grinding away. Ceto Fairy the fence, and then Northwood. It's a great duel. Don Rapides in front. Here's Hassel. Oh, Hassel right down the outside will blow them away. Hassel from Don Rapides and Garfish from Sadler's Song and Matey. Tismazing and Northwood. Isadora, Ceto Fairy, Shy Stranger, our Jinmar. And last to complete the course was Sunblush. Hassel has come right down the outside to win $14.60 and $4. By Zabeel from Greeting, and raced by Jack and Bob Ingham's Woodland Stud Syndicate. I think just off the top of my head, I don't think John and Robert Ingham would own too many Zabeels. Basically, the home growns are in their ownership, but they've got a Zabeel gelding here having his first start. He was unplaced in a trial at Hawkesbury on the 14th. Out of a canny lad mare Greeting, and well, he really did rocket to the post, didn't he? What? Waiting on the numbers to come up. Hassel will be the winner, $14 approximately, and $4. Has clocked 125.19 for the 1400, and he might be a gelding that's got a future. Still no numbers up at the moment. They take their time here at Randwick with the numbers.
Okay, we'll stand by for them officially on race 3, but nice win. You don't see too many Zabeel 2-year-olds winning on debut. So that's...
What jockeys go through at time. You must have been very disappointed, Peter, after injuring yourself coming out of the gates the other day.
Yeah, in and one sort of come back through the field, got in its road and hit the line really well. Flemington, you'd think it's one here. You'd think the big open spaces should suit it.
3.
Carousel now coming up in company with Zatopek. So Ledestina backed into favourite on course. Second pick, 10 Leicester Thunderwing and 12 Mr. Greg, who opened favourite on track but has continued to ease out. Here's Mr. Greg now coming in. Nautilism stood up well. Here's River of Kingston going up for Vlad Durick. Got Jewel of Kingston and River of Kingston here. Ledestina comes along for Michelle Payne. Mia takes her place, so they're ready to run. 2500. Racing. Ledestina jumped okay in the middle of the line alongside the Creature, and away fast Provocateur. Leicester Thunderwing jumped well on the inside. Karazi's being ridden up in the early part, and then Nautilism, and on the outside Native Jazz is up with the leading bunch as well. Mr. Gregg's just behind them, and he's easing out wide, and he pushed Free Gold deep as they leave the straight now. Past the 2200, Karazi had a narrow lead from Nautilism the outside. Then Leicester Thunderwing trailing the pace on the inside of Provocateur. Free Gold deep, and also Native Jazz is caught wide. They're both going forward. Provocateur not settling well, gets his head up just behind this bunch of horses. Mr. Gregg is outside, and then Was a Star the rail. A length and a half, Jewel of Kingston travelling wide. Weejan the centre, Zatopek the rail. 2 lengths, Ledestina, who's got back on the inside, followed by Big Pat. Another 2 lengths away at the 1800 came the Creature, and then Yakama, and River of Kingston is 3 lengths away as they go by the 1700 Karazi in front. Free Gold is in second placing, Leicester Thunderwing over on the inside, and then Mr. Gregg. Wonder Nautilism in the green colours running fifth is followed by Was a Star. Back behind those is Native Jazz over on the outside as they make the run up to the 1400. Jewel of Kingston caught wide is improving, and then 2 lengths to Zatopek, Provocateur, Weejan wide. 2 lengths further back in the field, then Big Pat, Ledestina the rail, and then the Creature, Yakama, and 2 River of Kingston. Free Gold is a new leader now. Mr. Gregg's up on his outside at the 1200 metres, and they share the front by 2. Jewel of Kingston now improving up into third placing, followed by Nautilism, and Karazi now back fifth on the inside. 2 lengths then to Leicester Thunderwing, followed by Native Jazz. Weejan is still deep, 1,000 metres to go. 2 to Was a Star, Provocateur, and then Zatopek and Big Pat. Another 2 Ledestina, trailed then by the Creature, 3 Yakama, and 3 River of Kingston. As they went by the 800, and Mr. Gregg strode clear by 2 lengths to Free Gold, and then Jewel of Kingston, Karazi fourth the inside, and then Nautilism, followed by Weejan.